Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings. Thank you guys for being here with me with this show. I'm going to do a back to back shows. I'm going to do two. This one, I'm going to concentrate on the plot and how the plot has thickened. Last night, when I ended the show, I was talking about Colombia. I was talking about Spain. I was talking about the connections with this hit list, if you will, when it comes to, well, Charlie Kirk. I mean, that's basically when it started for me to be able to see that the day before Charlie was assassinated, that's when I saw things going on. And now there has been confirmation. And I wanted to share that with you guys just in case you have not seen what I'm talking about with the confirmation about the day before. So on the 8th and the 9th, and I've already got it pulled up. I've already looked at it. I've been deep in the rabbit hole with it. And I'm telling you guys, none of this with the Browns school, Charlie Kirk, Greg Biffle, all these incidents that are happened with the MIT professor, they're all connected. They're all connected. And we don't really truly have a Republican and a Democrat. It's all a show. It's all a show. And I mean, these people, I was going to say the oligarchs, but these people are ruthless. They're like the mafia on steroids. I mean, they have one agenda, and that's to keep us dumbed down, confused, and distracted, all the while gaining more power. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. We can go back, and I have gone back and looked at Tesla, look at his chart. It's the same thing. You can't bring a cure to the world for cancer. You can't bring free energy. You can't go against the mainstream narrative. You can't do that. It can't happen. And they are going to make sure at all costs that they stay in power. I don't know what's going to be happening today and tomorrow, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow is so intense. Is it going to be because of everything that has happened and we're going to come to some kind of, big revelation tomorrow? I don't know. Is it going to be because of the Epstein files? Or is it going to be because Arizona is hosting TPUSA tomorrow? They started yesterday, went through today, tomorrow, and it's going to go through, I think, Sunday. So today is the new moon in Sagittarius. The new moon in Sagittarius is where the sun and the moon conjunct and they're in conversation. The sun is going to shine on things of the past, especially having to do with religion, courts, flights, fire, combustion, things of that nature. So remember last weekend when I was saying that this weekend, as we go into the weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that it looked really intense. It was so intense, it was giving me anxiety to see it. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. I remember. So none of this is conspiracy. This is what I have seen. This is what I am still seeing. And these connections are somewhat scary, because at a drop of a dime, they can order a hit, blame it on someone, I mean, who, they actually hired. And we haven't seen a body. When we were looking at that yesterday, we weren't seeing what would appear, the ambulance, the coroner, we saw forensics. I could see like forensics, but I didn't see any of that. And I'm not saying that He isn't deceased. But this guy from Portugal, y'all, he wasn't jealous. There was nothing jealous about this. This wasn't a jealous crime. Mm-mm. No, this was a hit. This was a hit by people that are in other countries that they actually have power in this country and vice versa. So let me show you just, a couple of clips so you understand what I'm talking about. And then, like I said, I'm going to have a back to back where I'm going to do nothing but astrology because I need to talk about some of these kids' cases. I need to talk about the astrology going into the weekend, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and show that before I end this stream today. I'm gonna show the astrology and why I'm saying that we're gonna have major intensity tomorrow. Could it be because there is something going on with the courts? Because all of the files aren't going to be released today? That's possible. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. So let's start with this one. Let's start with this clip. And that way we can talk about this a little bit and then we can go to what she unveiled yesterday as well. Because I've been doing the charts. I can promise you that. Let's check this out. Let me give credit where credit is due. And drop that link. Let me drop that link to a site. And copy it, put it into the stream here. I hope you guys are doing okay today. And it's good to see all of you, Summer and Shadow and Sandy, Lisa. Good to see you. Kim, Orbitraction, Angel for You, Witchy Mama, Jeff. Hey, babe. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Hey, Hope Floats. Hey, Shauna. All right, here we go. Oh, let me get rid of that. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. And if you can't hear, y'all just let me know. Let me put my phone on so I can make sure that I can see the chat just in case things go in another direction. But I do hope you guys are doing good today, TGIF. Here we go.
Because according to some of these timestamps, a bunch of people are lying, right? It says 12:24, Mikey McCoy calls Elizabeth McCoy, that's his wife, and will stay on the phone with her for 10 minutes. And at 12:26, Mikey McCoy adds Erika to the call. Now, that is 3 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23. Problem is, however you take it, that information already is contradictory with the New York Times, because the Times reported that Ms. Kirk was sitting in her mother's hospital room at 11:23 a.m. local Phoenix time, which is 12:23 Utah time, when she saw the number of her husband's longtime assistant, Mikey McCoy, appear on her phone. It's a 3-minute difference, so some might say it doesn't really matter, but I'm a firm believer in small lies lead to bigger lies.
And I'm a firm believer in correct timestamps because it makes a big difference. 3 minutes makes a difference.
People who tell small lies have the propensity to also tell bigger lies. And maybe we would let this go, except for the fact that now we have discovered, or people online have discovered, entire history, chapters of Erika Kirk's life that we never knew existed. For example, if we go to Wikipedia, it says that Erika and Charlie Kirk started dating in New York City in 2019. And based on a recent town hall with Barry Weiss, she said that she was not dating anybody in the years prior to meeting Charlie.
When I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than go. I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So
I don't like how she did that. I think that that's unproductive with this conversation. Downing someone else to make yourself better, to hold yourself on a pedestal above someone else, that's not cute to me. I don't like that. That's my opinion.
if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study? Did you tell your pastor that you are ready for the Lord to bring into your life the man that you've been praying for?
So don't drink, go to church so you can attract a good man like Charlie Kirk. But we don't know for sure if she wasn't drinking, but she did really enjoy posing with alcoholic beverages. For someone who supposedly was not a fan of drinking culture, she sure was fine using it.
And that dress, or that's very revealing for somebody that's trying to attract a Charlie.
For commercial or financial gain. Here's her with a glass of champagne. It says, it's Wednesday, so treat yourself to a little champagne. And did she really not date while she lived in New York City? Because based on my sleuthing, she lived in New York from at least about 2016 onwards to when she married Charlie in 2021. This is an article I found from Women Magazine, and it says, amid her physical transformation, Erika found Bible in 365 in 2016, which evolved into her own clothing brand. She said, quote, I started Bible in 365 in my New York City apartment. So this was 2016 when confirmed she did live in New York City. So why do I point out this little detail? Well, it's because remember, she said that she didn't date anybody in New York City. So presumably between the years of 2016 and 2019, when she met Charlie, she didn't date. Well, here's a photo that the internet sleuths dug up from September of 2017 with one Cabot Phillips. And the caption said, yes, we're that couple who gets painting lessons together. And here you could see Erika Fronsvy and Cabot Phillips. I don't know about you, but that looked like a little bit more than just a one-off date. It looked like they were an actual couple, as the caption said. People were commenting, gorgeous couple, lovebirds, in these posts that have now since been deleted. So either...
See, this is where I'm saying that the plot thickens, because when you're caught in lies, internet's forever. And when you're caught in lies, well, maybe not forever. I mean, until the sun, knocks it out. But this is, so what I am proposing here is that the more that she has put herself in the limelight, let's say that she didn't just, go full media within hours of her husband's unaliving. Let's say that she didn't do that, that she maintained her home, her children, and she appeared to truly be grieving. None of this would be going on. I'm proposing that she has brought a lot of this on herself by going from show to show to show, laughing and cutting up and worrying about what this one is saying, worried about what that one is saying, wanting to control TPUSA and all of that stuff. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. And this is what is happening because of that. That's what I think, People are talking about lovebirds, and, this was in 2017. So to say that she didn't date anybody, well, that appears to be wrong.
They're trying to hide this relationship, or maybe they just had a really bad breakup. I know people tend to sometimes delete photos from relationships that they are no longer in. But interestingly, Cabot Phillips was actually at one point Charlie Kirk's producer, and he is now a senior editor at the Daily Wire. And just yesterday, December 16, 2025, he gave a talk about, quote, how to lead like Charlie. You got to understand.
Interesting. Interesting. How to lead like Charlie. December 16th. Interesting.
I am not from this world of media, and I think all this kind of incestuity is weird to me. But the bigger point is, why does Erika have to lie about this? Is it just for her to prop up this image that she is a conservative woman, quote unquote? Because you can't hide this kind of stuff. The internet is undefeated. So not only do we,
I mean, that is that going to attract a Charlie? Does that attract a Charlie? Does that make you look like a good little Christian girl? Miss Innocent? No. No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
stuff. The internet is undefeated. So not only do we now know that she was dating before Charlie, which is fine, it's a totally normal thing to do, but she was also engaged, perhaps even married. Luna Bear Studios posted this on March 16, 2015, prepping another couple's gallery for delivery. Erika Francvi and JT Massey, you both are amazing humans, and I love shooting you. So much laughter and love. It was perfection. This is what happens when your entire image is propped up by something that just is not true. If you are not this woman, don't pretend to be, right? Nobody.
Exactly. Just own it. Own it. Without apology. Be authentic. Be true. Don't lie. Yeah, don't have a fake facade. Don't let's there's yes, y'all. The digger is just digging her a hole deeper and deeper. And if she would just maintain herself and her children and stop trying to be in the limelight and trying to fix, manage, control what everybody is saying about her and just focus on her kids, she would be doing a lot better. I would have a lot more respect for her. Me personally. And who am I? I mean, I'm a nobody to her. I'm just saying. A lot of people think the same way as I do. Her husband wasn't even in the ground, and she's posting photos of herself over his casket to post on social media. This is not normal. This isn't normal. And what isn't normal either is her actions the day prior, 2 days prior to this awful event with Charlie.
Cares who you were in the past. It's all about who you are now. So you could say, hey, I was this crazy party girl. I dated around a lot. I was even engaged, but I have since found my faith. I've realized a lot of those behaviors were toxic. So I'm changing course and making my life better. That is a perfectly good story. I don't understand why you have to lie. Speaking of lies, you know how Erika Kirk is going around and promoting Charlie's book right now, doing a whole media tour. Well, once again, she was caught in another lie.
A couple of weeks ago, Erika Kirk went on Megyn Kelly's show and was talking about Charlie Kirk's new book, Stop in the Name of God. When Megyn Kelly asks her if she's read the book in its entirety, she says yes. But last night on Sean Hannity, she tells a different story. Watch this.
To read it.
When?
Yeah.
As much as I can, driving into the office
No,
or.
but I mean, was it written in its entirety before Charlie died?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yes, it was. He finished writing this, I believe, in June or July of this year.
So you had read it.
Mhm.
Because I read it. Again, I read the whole thing, and
I'll be honest, I
absorbed-
can't read the last few pages. I'm not there yet. It's just emotionally, because
I
once this
understand.
book is done, it's done.
Now I get it. This is something
Yeah, girl, no. You either read it or you didn't. And I'm really wondering if he actually did finish it. It's just like now it's so hard to trust what she's saying because, like he said, when people begin those little lies, then you wonder about everything that they say after that. And I think that that's normal for us to question. And her husband would definitely keep telling us to question.
Something really small, and maybe it doesn't even matter. It's possible she just didn't bring that detail up to Megyn Kelly. But as the saying goes, if you can lie about small things, you can also lie about big things.
Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with the important matters. Albert Einstein. And tomorrow, Turning Point's AmFest, America Fest 2025 kicks off December 18th to the 21st. It says
the 18th, and this is interesting because the 18th or the 21st, well, I started it on the 17th, that things were going to heat up. It was almost like I could see money shuffling around, a lot of shuffling around from the 17th or the 21st. And so this is right in line. Everything that is happening is right in line with all the intensity that was giving me anxiety last week, if y'all remember. And tomorrow is one of the most intense days, and I don't know why yet. I know that I can tell you what I think when I read the chart, and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show you so much. If you're interested, of course, that is with the astrology. So y'all will have to stay tuned for that when I do my next show, because I'm going to do another one back to back that's going to show the astrology.
America's future starts here. The biggest conservative movement in the country. Turning Point's annual America Fest conference will be held December 18th to the 21st, 2025 at the Phoenix Convention Center. This year's event will be unlike any other, a powerful celebration in faith, freedom, and the legacy of their founder, Charlie Kirk. Charlie's life was a testament to faith, courage, and conviction. From his earliest days, he believed America was worth fighting for, and he dedicated every moment of his 31 years to that cause. Grounded in God's faith and driven by a calling bigger than himself, Charlie poured his life into others, raising up a generation bold in faith, steadfast in love, of freedom, and unafraid to defend this nation.
And at this point, I feel like that they are using all of Charlie's hard work. They are using all of his hard work to promote an agenda that he was stepping away from. Their agenda is the agenda that he was stepping away from. And I feel this really just doesn't feel right at all.
What began as a vision of an 18-year-old in a small garage. What is it with the garages? Like, things can start in places other than a garage as well. I know it sounds cool and all, but anyway, in Lamont, Illinois, grew into one of the most powerful grassroots movements in America. Through Turning Point, Charlie ignited a fire in the hearts of millions. He showed us that truth must never be silenced, that courage is contagious, and that freedom must be protected. He was in a major conflict near the end of his life. So
Exactly.
who are these partner organizations?
Right.
Who are these speakers?
That's where I'm at with it too. Like that's what I'm exactly. Here we go. Hold on.
These organizations with these donors. He was in a major conflict near the end of his life. So who are these partner organizations? Who are these speakers? Who chose these speakers? And which country's interests do they represent?
Does the aesthetics of this show remind you of anything? Anyone? Maybe this guy? Okay, so follow this timeline here with me. On August 9th, Yair Netanyahu, the son of Bibi Netanyahu, announces that he's going to be starting a new podcast with, once again, very America First vibes. And then a few days later, on August 13th, Harrison Smith reports that he was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. And then, of course, we all know what happened about a month later. Tragedy strikes. But check this out. Who does Erika Kirk just so happen to be standing next to in this AIPAC photo? Yep, none other than Yair Netanyahu. Probably nothing to see here.
I know that was just a fun little conspiracy rabbit hole. I'm sure there is really nothing to see there. But the point that I was trying to make is that for an America First organization, these guys sure do care a hell of a lot about a certain other foreign country.
Charlie and I have always been very clear on our stance. Israel, Jewish people. It's awful. Awful. Anti-Semitism is what healing factor comes out of hating Jewish people? What healing factor comes out of hating Christians? What healing factor comes out? Hate in general. Nothing. Nothing. Charlie always would say very clearly, Jew hate was brain rot. He would always say it. We've been to Israel twice together. And to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked.
Really? Really? Did you walk where the Lord walked? Huh. Interesting. Because when I went to Israel, you couldn't go to a lot of the places where he walked. Interesting.
And see the Bible come to life in Technicolor. How could you hate that place? How could you hate the Jewish people?
The assassination of
Don't nobody, what are you talking about? We're talking about the donors. I mean, are you just stuck? We're talking about the donors that your husband was scared about, that he was publicly saying that he was scared. The people that you're rubbing elbows with now. Won't you go and live in Israel, honey? Just go on there. Just go there. Set up shop. Take your TP USA and y'all go to Israel then.
my husband was heavy, but what really upsets me is when people don't like Israel. Erika, Shabbat
Exactly. Ugh.
Shalom Kirk. Okay, that is obviously a joke.
Shalom Kirk. What did he say?
The assassination of my husband was heavy, but what really upsets me is when people don't like Israel. Erika, Shabbat Shalom Kirk. Okay, that is obviously a joke, but I think one of the biggest issues that I've always brought up is this conflation of anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism. And if you continue to conflate Judaism with Zionism, that, in fact, is a very dangerous thing.
Exactly. There's a difference. There's a difference between Judaism and Zionism. And if you don't know the difference, please educate yourself, guys. There is a huge difference.
And it is what leads to, I think, the true rise of anti-Semitism around the world. But why does Erika even matter? That's something that I think may be a question that you guys have. Why are we even talking about her? Well, I think she matters because she is taking Charlie's place atop the American political empire. The whole thing. It's not just conservative Americans, it's all Americans. She literally has her own tab on CBS News. Okay, it's like, yes, horrible attack at Bondi Beach. You got the Brown University shooting that we still have no clue who did as of the time I'm filming this. And we got an Erika Kirk tab. She's essentially being propped up as America's mom now. So the question that I would like to ask all of you is, would you trust, or do you trust this person with your life, your community, your family?
And that's a absolute no. Absolutely not. No. So we're going to go on to Candace. Now we're going to look at Candace because who she had on her show yesterday, I think that that's definitely something that we need to explore and have definitely explored it per the astrology. You can bet I have. You can bet I have. Let me put up her banner here. And let me make sure I've got it the same place that I wanted to, because she goes in to talk about, her the call log and all that stuff. And then she goes on to bring him on the show. And here we go. This guy his name is Mitch, and he is going to be explaining what he saw the day before.
Be involved. So we went down there in a matter of a few days, and I was the youngest guy on the team. And for the first few days, I got assigned to have to, do the hard work of putting in the sensors and following one of the border patrol who was he was on horseback. Got to learn a little bit about picking up signs in the desert, stuff like that, while we were placing these sensors down. It took a few days. I think we put in like 80 sensors or so along the border, and we were getting they thought it was some glitch signals coming back. Being that I had just gone through the course, I had the most updated information. And
Let me go ahead and show you that on the map while he is talking about it, about Fort Huachuca or whatever it's called. Halchucha. Okay, we're going to go with Fort Halchuca. This is it on the map when Charlie was unalived. My daughter is calling. Just one second. Hey, girl. For what? There you go. Uh. Yeah. So did he write you a ticket? Yeah, you need to protect yourself a little bit better. Miss Responsible. Yeah. I mean, that is just goofy. Love you, bye. All right, my daughter got a ticket for not wearing her seatbelt, and I'm always getting on to her about that. Always getting on to the little girl. And we were just talking about responsibility. All right, guys. So sorry about that. All right. All right. On the map, this is the lowest point. There is this is fate, and this is where the south node is, where we've been before. Okay. And there it is. There it is, where we've been before. Fated. Money. I've got charity. Money. Okay. Just wanting y'all to see that. Oh, shit. You didn't even see it. Sorry. There it is. This is where it is on the map. It's where we've been before. There's a faded line here. Here's the north node in Pisces. Here's the south node, lunar node, that is going down this way. So we've been here before. It's all about that money, honey. Let's see what's on that north node. Let's see what I've got here on the north node. With all that charity, good vibes, We got Chabad Lubavitch of Utah. That's another, and then we've got Matt Barrett. So we've got Matt Barrett and that. Okay. Let's go back. This interview. Just wanted to show you guys the map because That's where it's very interesting to me.
What we realized is they weren't glitch signals that these people were being sent out for. It was subterranean, and when I got pulled back to the JTF-6 headquarters, they were in discussions of trying to remove the Army. In case your viewers don't understand, when units get put together like this, especially this mission, there's a lot of contention even to this day between the Army and Border Patrol and who gets to take credit and who gets to stay, who gets to go. And back then, they
David Yearman. More meaningful with time.
Border Patrol, I think they just wanted us out of their hair. So they were having some sort of a big meeting, and it was a big do not disturb meeting. And I got assigned to the skeleton crew to sit back on the SMS, the receiver. And I was looking at the data while the skeleton crew of the Border Patrol was left there with me as well. And he was giving me a bad time about the Army equipment and how they were being sent out for no reason. And he kept giving me a bad time about it. So we were looking at the data and we started discussing things. And I brought up the fact that, I asked if there was any subways or something like that around. And between the two of us, the light bulb went on that, it was an underground tunnel. And within minutes, we could triangulate the signals and be able to pinpoint the location. And that's the information I got to hand off. So no, I didn't, go on the raid itself. Handing that information off was the probable cause they needed to be able to go get a warrant, go to the location, and also communicate with the Mexican authorities on the other side to perform a raid. And that's what happened.
Now you're thinking, amazing, we have found the biggest cartel tunnel. There had never been one bigger previously discovered, I presume. Maybe there had been. I don't know, I'm going to become a hero. Maybe you're thinking this is going to be great. And the exact opposite thing is true. And it's because they eventually find pictures of, was it an American lieutenant colonel? Who exactly? Sorry, I know you told me this.
Basically, he is telling, and you can watch the whole video on her show, but basically he is telling the story of why he is now basically on the run. He went from a big guy to a small guy. And don't they? Don't they? It's all about who you know, what you know, and the silence. They want to silence you. So here we go. Let's move it along a little bit.
Photo.
So I just wanted to ask you, your attachment to, because I'm trying to figure out why you're going to then go back to Fort Huachuca. Is that where you were initially trained?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay, so you were initially trained on Fort Huachuca. What then ends up happening is they put you're not allowed to talk. You just get gagged for, is it 25 years the gag order lasted, while they destroyed every layer of your life, fed your name to the cartels. You've been on the run. You've had to change your name. Your family is now in debt. You've been fighting lawsuits, trying to get the government to, I guess, defend you against the cartel gangs. And clearly they're angry because you stepped on their toes, it looks like. I think that's a fair depiction of what happened here, which we are learning more and more how corrupt and I think the CIA was created to traffic, to be clear. That's my opinion there. But
that's my opinion too. Definitely.
But they effectively destroyed your life and gagged you in the process. Is that a fair assessment of what happened next?
Yeah, it is. I could probably go into some detail that while we were down there, I got the honor of incinerating all the. It was about a ton of cocaine, and a bunch of guns, bunch of money.
And believe me, this isn't just about Egypt. This is about other countries, including Colombia, Cuba.
And then right afterward, we went right back to work, and I ended up getting approached with a friend at Noka, Arizona. Not a friend, but another Border Patrol agent. And if it wasn't for him, I was too stupid. I didn't understand why this person was coming up or why they had personal information on me. I was a young kid. It was the Border Patrol agent that caught what it was about. And yeah, thank God. He knew what to do. Took me back to base, and they thought it was, something I did to give away my identity. So I was on base for, it was the next day that I got brought into a briefing. And by that time, the photos from the Mexican side had made their way to the American side, and they were able to put together how my information got fed to the other side. As far as cartels and stuff like that, it's just plain corruption at this point. It's thick. And yeah, they have followed me. There's been.
He said, and it's thick.
25 long years. And it happens
35.
to 35, pardon me. 35 years. You're told, yeah, you can suffer. The cartels can chase you, change your name, but you keep your mouth shut about it. And finally, in May of this year, it expires, right? This gag order expires, and you say to yourself, I am going to go down to that base where I was trained. I'm going to go down to Fort Huachuca, book myself into a hotel. I'm going to go to the criminal division, the investigative division. I'm going to get that original paperwork and get some answers to why I feel that my life has been effectively ruined for me having done what I was ordered to do by the government. So you get to the base, and I want you to address this because there were so many people who were like, there's no way you could have gotten onto the base. Obviously, you sent me your military cards, and I think we can show a picture of that. You get onto the base, and I want you to walk us through what time, and I did show a timeline, but about, you don't have to be perfect here. We already showed a timeline, but like you get to the base and just kind of what's your general mood. And this is on September 8th, the evening of September 8th at the Candlewood Inn and Suites, which you have given me all the documentation.
September 8th, the Candlewood Inn and Suites. September 8th, that's when he gets there, okay? Because, as an astrologer, we like timelines. And this is making a lot of sense because when I investigated it per the astrology after he passed, I could see it leading up to this event. And when I saw this yesterday, I was like, wow, 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 and more wow.
For.
Let me go back. Just
Okay.
let's look at his military stuff.
And I think we can show a picture of that. You get onto the base, and I want you to walk us through what time, and I did show a timeline, but about, you don't have to be perfect here. We already showed a timeline, but like you get to the base and just kind of what's your general mood. And this is on September 8th, the evening of September 8th at the Candlewood Inn and Suites, which you have given me all the documentation for.
Okay. Yeah. Getting into Tucson, there was a little bit of a issue getting the rental car and stuff. So that took a little while, a little bit of a delay, but we made reservations ahead of time for me to be there. And yeah, I get down to the base. For those that think that people can't get on base, no, typically you can, as long as you have your ID, your insurance, and you have a purpose for being there. I certainly did.
And Sally, you can show that documentation as he's speaking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we made reservations, and I got to the hotel. It was sort of hard to find, but once I found it, I sort of recognized it because it was that was actually the barracks that I had when I was there, and in AIT training, but they converted it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. All of a sudden, staying in the same barracks. A really nice place, by the way. Wonderful beds. But yeah, I check in, and as I'm doing that, you can tell that there's regular military people, young kids that are there.
I'm sure he did. He's like, "Where's the liquor?"
Probably just checking in to post, stuff like that. There were a couple people that stood out, and they're a little bit older. And as I'm checking in, one guy that was sitting on the couch.
Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Finesse. Martin, everybody coming in. Hello, hello, hello. Y'all please hit that thumbs up.
He just had a sheen to him. Looked like he had a professional military sheen to him. If I had to guess, being a special forces guy, I would have guessed that he's ex special forces, probably doing, something down there, probably contract. He was definitely waiting on something. And
age about, just so we can get a description, age.
I'd say 33 to 40, about there, give or take. I wasn't there to check out people or check ID cards. I just happen to know him. And veterans, especially SF guys, when you notice somebody like that, I almost had the impression, so much so, that I was going to go up and ask him what group he was with and say hi and thank him for his service. I didn't really get that chance. So as I'm checking in, and then I go to my room and then come back out, he was joined, and joined by a female that you can definitely tell when, how do you put it, when people are well off and they're dressing down. She was definitely dressing down, and it was very well kept. The one thing I noticed about the woman that really stuck out to me was her eyes. And I have an ex that has caused me a lot of problems. So when I see someone with striking blue eyes like that, they stick out. And I was on the phone with my wife here, and I even told her about it. I said, "Oh, geez, somebody has those kind of eyes." It creeped me out a little bit, and it had nothing to do with that person. Just,
So it's the eyes that he remembered. Those piercing blue eyes that she has that you're not going to be able to forget. So he is saying that he saw her. He saw her the night before at this hotel.
Life is what it is. But as I was checking in, I was going to go back and actually talk to that person, the guy, and between me at the front desk and then going back to my room one time and then coming back out, I was going to go to dinner. They had gotten into, there was a vehicle parked out front, big green truck. It looked like a real shiny GSA type. And they were getting into that vehicle and driving off. And that night I went to dinner at some, a little bit crazy. The people in Sierra Vista, they can probably verify, there was a Mexican sushi place in Sierra Vista. So I got dinner, and it was a pretty good place, actually. And then I came back and went to sleep that night. Got up early the next morning, wanted to see the sunrise, reminisce about, there we go. Just reminisce about having been there a long time ago. And even stopped to talk to some of the police. They tried to give me directions to see ID, but the buildings there are they're sort of old World War II, and they're also built on top of the foundations of like almost Alamo era rocks and stuff. And
Of course, what I'm thinking is, do they have video? Do they have video of this guy being there, with Erika being there? Do they have video at this hotel? Just makes you wonder about the evidence. And Candace was sitting on this information when she met with Erika. She was sitting on this information.
some of them aren't really well marked. So his direction sort of led me off on a wild goose chase.
And I'll interject here while you're having a sip of water that this is when you accidentally take a video and it's 18 minutes long while this guy's giving you directions, which you've sent everything over. So there's no question you were here and everything happened because you tried to document this thinking you were going to get some justice from the past. And I will let you continue telling the story.
Which is really cool too. He thinks he's going to get, he's going there to get justice. He's going there for closure, to end what he thinks is, years of service, and trying to clear his name, to get things, to make things right for himself and for his family. And then he is confronted with this information. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, it is a rabbit hole.
Story.
Yeah, I was there to get help. And I was really figuring some people would have have some answers for me. I couldn't find CID, but as I'm wandering around, I finally decided, I need to get some coffee and wake up, maybe have a little breakfast. I noticed that there's some signs there that say JTF and JTF headquarters. I went into a couple of the buildings. There was nobody there yet. So I continued on. I went and got coffee, ran into some 10th Mountain people there. They said they were there for JTF. We sort of talked. I bought them coffee, I think, for their service. I asked where there would be a headquarters that I could go to speak to someone. They tried to explain it to me. I forget, they gave me a building name, and I don't necessarily we don't want to disclose that kind of stuff, but I went right back to the front gate, and as I came in, as they scanned me in with my ID card, I asked the gate guard there, where would this building be, and how would I get there? He gave me detailed instructions on how to get there, how to wind around to get to that building. And so I did. And it was obviously a temporary setup for this new command down there. There was no gate guard. There was, I think they did have some barbed wire around the field and the building, which made me hesitate for a second, but it was a parking lot.
For all you people in the bushes, hello, welcome to Astrology for Mystics with Jen. While you are watching, please hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, guys. I would really appreciate that. Don't be shy. Come on in. Come on in and chat.
So I just went in and parked. I was on the phone with my missus here and told her, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they say here, and I'll call you in a few. I ended up not being able to call it back for about 7 hours. And you can, being in the military for a while, you notice when there's a lot of high-ranking people around, and you notice when there's a little bit of a buzz. And I walked in there. I didn't know if this was just a new type of army that I haven't seen for a while. But I walked up to the front desk. I sort of told him what I wanted. I initially talked to one captain for about 5 minutes, and then he stepped back out. He was going to go get someone. I stood there at the front, and as I did, The guy that I thought was an XSF guy,
I don't think that there's a whole lot that he can really say except that he saw her there, that he saw them there. You know, he didn't talk to him, so he's just basically letting us know that she was there and other people that she was with. And this is a military base. And we know that the day before, you know, all the Doge stuff, the audit, the donors, I think that there was definitely a stage being set. I know. We only have 35 and we got a bunch of people. We just had over 160 people in here. And when I said that, they left, which is fine.
he had walked out from wherever it was, and he was sort of walking out to the front doors, and he stood there for a while waiting. And then three more people came around, civilian dressed, and one, yeah, he looked like a congressman. Had the pin, had the flag, congressman suit, and there were a couple of people next to him, and obviously they were trying to talk to him, and they were sort of palling around, but it was also sort of serious. And some of the military lieutenant colonels there and the unit sergeant major escorted them out. They got into one of the GSA's. For anybody in the military that knows about GSA, they own everything in the government.
Could you, for those of us who don't know about this GSA, just to break it down for us, I'm sorry to be so ignorant. What does that stand for?
No. What was it? Government Services Administration, or
okay.
I forget what it is.
No worries.
What they basically maintain all the property for the federal government.
Okay.
So if you're in the military or if you're in the federal government and you need a vehicle, basically you go to one of the GSA places, and it's like renting a vehicle at Enterprise or something, but you have orders attached to it. Some of those vehicles they're reserved at any GSA where
He was under the NDA until May. So he has, and I'm sure, you know, he has had to change his name. He and his family have been targeted for years. And so I don't think that he is so much afraid as he is just wanting to make sure that the things that he does say isn't going to, he's already saying enough. There was high ranking people there, and Erika was there. He knows this. And he is identified her through her piercing eyes. And that the people that were there, that were with her, these are the same people that Charlie was distancing himself from, which is very odd. I mean, it's odd to me anyway.
they have VIPs that come in. For those in the know, they keep a reserve set of vehicles, and they're extra shiny. They're like new off the lot. Their tires aren't worn very well. So they all got into one of those vehicles and they left. The sergeant major came back in. Him and I was teasing him about his tabs and how he didn't have his long tab, and I think he had a Ranger tab and airborne. Or no, he didn't have airborne. He had air assault. Anyway, I was teasing him about some of that. Was supposed to go back and talk to him. I was finishing signing in when, yeah.
Oh, that's really weird. There's some weird synchronicities. Erika wearing the green Princess Fiona dress. Oddly coincidental that a hippo named Fiona was pivotal in revitalizing a zoo's image. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Wow. I think he has been in grave danger. I think he has been in grave danger. And he is continuously going to, it looks like, be in grave danger. He went back to the base where it all began, and look what happened. Look what happened. Very interesting. Hey, April, good to see you, babe. Good to see you, babe.
A couple more captains came around the corners and they escorted me way out. They wanted to take me out of the building. I thought I was getting arrested, and I didn't know what I had done wrong. Yeah, I'd given my name, the missions I had been attached to. I'd given the purpose why I was there. And I was very polite about it. I was trying to be discreet as possible. And I had no idea what I was walking into. Obviously, when congressmen are around, there's something special going on. But yeah, they escorted me out across the parking lot to the park benches there, and one of the captains there, his name was Captain Neff. Nice guy. Yeah, and I started telling him my story, what I'm telling you, and what I was there for. Yes, that's the guy. Real decent gentleman.
So the captain should be able to then confirm whether she was there or not and who all she was there with.
And as we sat there, the other captain went in, was going to get the sergeant major, and I don't know exactly what happened, but before long, there was a bunch of cruisers pulling up. There were police officers from different levels of the government. I couldn't tell you all the different types of law enforcement that were there surrounding me, and sort of putting up a wall between me and the front door. I did catch that there was yet another, I don't know if it was the same GSA vehicle returning or a different one, but that did pull up to the building. I couldn't see who got in it. And it ended up sort of a big deal. They kept interrogating me, trying to gaslight me, ask me what I was there for, like I was some sort of a spy. And then they mentioned a bomb threat. They wanted to check my vehicle. Mentioned that because I was in special forces, obviously I must be.
Well, that's interesting. There was also, wasn't there a threat there today? I mean, not at the same location, but or an active false alarm, active shooter or something. I don't know, man. I can't keep up. I cannot keep up. Seriously.
Some sort of a bomb threat. And for me, I just figured this had to be some sort of the false flagging that I've encountered from before. Some sort of.
Wow, Sunny Swarm, you are really making some connections there, girl. Wow. Wow. I'm with you, Spicy Disaster. Yeah. Yeah.
Residual effect from that.
So you're just thinking, this has got something to do. This has been 35 years running. The government's corrupt. It's all about me fighting this cartel tunnel. And this is just going to be the story of my life, never getting any justice. That's what.
Yeah. A cartel tunnel. That's what he's thinking. He's not going to get the justice. He's about to be taken out. And here he is. He has no idea that he is witnessing what he's really witnessing. He can tell that it's feeling off, that there's definitely some stuff going on, but he has no idea
what's going through your mind.
At this point, yeah, people in the government start pointing guns at me. My house has been squatted and stuff like that. I just roll my eyes. I literally.
Are you serious? The Captain Neff he mentions works for surely not. Whoa. We'll have to check into that. I'll have to check into that.
Sorry.
I was just throwing my car keys. They wanted my car keys. I chucked it over. I said, yeah, if you don't mind, park it closer because my bones are getting old and it hurts. I don't want to walk that far.
So sad.
So Captain Neff was really nice. And I asked him what this was about. He tried to shrug it off and say he didn't know. There was another lady that seemed to be conducting what this overreaction was. And she was definitely, she was in plain clothes, undercover, big sunglasses, Hispanic woman. Right, if I had to guess, probably Secret Service or something like that. She didn't want to approach me directly. She was directing how other people would approach me and ask me questions, get my documents, stuff like that. Eventually they said, okay, we're going to take you to another location. They took me to, they finally showed me where the CID building was, I guess. Put me in there and they recorded me for a while. Asked me a few questions and they were very concerned about the next 24 hours. Like they wanted to make sure, I don't know, maybe that I wasn't there for some other purpose or related to something. It was pretty odd. They didn't answer any of the questions I was there for. They didn't give me the documentation they wanted. They did give me a report number to go ahead and you went ahead and I gave that to you.
You did.
We'll see what that says. But yeah, they were looking for any excuse to try and hold me up for like 24 hours. And that 24-hour number kept getting repeated by them. And then eventually they didn't have anything to hold me. I wasn't a harm to myself or others. I wasn't there to, spy on anybody. I really just wanted to get records and get out of that desert. As reminiscent as it was, the place creeps me out a little bit. So, yeah, once they said you have to stay off base for 24 hours, don't worry about it, I ain't coming back. Got to Tucson, stayed the night there in a hotel. Never got a refund on my Candlewood Suites. But yeah, got on the plane and before we touched down, I had a stop off in Salt Lake City. By the time we wheeled down, we got the news about Charlie Kirk. And of course, that's been just all over the news. Everybody's watching it, and I don't think anybody's believing what the federal government's saying about it for sure, but
Absolutely not. But what I'm interested in is what he thought when he saw her and realized that that was Charlie's wife.
what I noticed, I don't know these people from TPUSA. Never been associated. I could recognize Charlie Kirk probably. But what I started seeing come across got more familiar once I saw a picture of somebody in a ponytail with those eyes. That was that person. They were there. And yeah, the head of security there, he was one of the people walking out with the congressman.
Head of security. So the head of Charlie's security, he was there. Congressman was there. She was there. So then he starts to be like, okay, all right. Damn. That's what that was all about.
Now, how would I know that? I just have a gift for recognizing people. And yeah, maybe it's not him. Maybe he has doppelganger, but somebody with the same mannerisms, the same crick in his neck, face, the waxy look on his face, hand gestures, shoulder shrug, gait, approximate height, haircut. Definitely walked past me. And
If
in
you
the
had to
hotel,
put it at a percentage that you were looking at Brian Harpole, maybe he's got a brother in the military, who knows, right? Maybe he does have a doppelganger. He's got a twin brother, who knows? And I want to be clear, I can confirm on this podcast live every step of your story in terms of where you went, what time you were there, that there was this big meeting that happened. I confirmed the location with other people that are on Fort Huachuca currently. I can confirm everything with metadata. I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw. If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw Brian Harpole, what percentage would you put it at?
95.
95%. Okay.
95 to 99. I mean, when I saw him, on the interview with his face and gestures, with that photo, it struck me in my gut. I blew it off until there was, some other pictures that came up with other people.
What other people? Other pictures?
If you want me to say, there's a picture of Erika Kirk with a ponytail, and from her past. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before, and she was with that man in the lobby, and that man, he was present at that meeting the next morning.
If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erika Kirk, what percentage would you put that at?
Those are really rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine somebody else.
Okay. So what I'm going to say, because obviously that's very explosive, and it's one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if I wanted to have you on. I'm going to be honest with you, because I guess I'll tell you the conflict that I had and just be just as honest with you as you are being with me. The first thing was, I can't confirm it, right? I can confirm where you were. I can do all of that. But I can't confirm what you think you saw. I don't know you. I don't know. There are people like my husband who we can see someone once and he recognizes that person 10 years later exactly where we saw them. And there are people like me, and I kind of have facial blindness until I meet someone 3 times. The second thing was, I didn't want people to wrongly extrapolate things and say, okay, well, maybe she was on the base. Maybe there's a chance she wasn't on the base, right? That she has a doppelganger. People do have doppelgangers. I have doppelgangers, right? Well, let's say she was in the base. Let's say you're right. And you saw her. This is the night before. This is on the 8th. Maybe she was in the hotel, but maybe she was there for a different reason. Maybe she was there because she's always been open about the fact that her mother moved to Arizona because she got involved with the military. So that could be totally unrelated to the meeting that took place on the 9th. And I didn't want to, but then I said to myself, this man has lived through so much. You know what I mean? This man has lived through so much. And I would be turning my back on this, really a hero for discovering the cartels, who's lived through so much and has been treated like the government. And then I struggled with my own soul going, I'm turning my back on him because I'm afraid of backlash for allowing him to tell the truth. And my soul was in conflict. And I decided that, you know what, this is not my platform. Okay. I genuinely believe this is God's platform. I am a conduit. I don't know why I have a platform. And I don't know why you have this luck in life. I really don't. I don't know why these things happen to you or why they happen to me. But I know that my prayer was very intentional that night, that I received that email. So I'm going to allow the internet to hear your testimony, hear what you think. And I also want to show them a picture, because we did look through some congressmen, and I didn't tell you where they were congressmen from, but there is one that you thought looked familiar. And I am going to show that picture of him now. This is, and Skylar, someone's got to get in my ear because I'm blanking on his name. Mark Gamodi. Is that right? Markamoti from Las Vegas, and you thought that this could potentially be the congressman that you saw on the 9th?
Oh yeah. 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 That's
What
the one that walked closest to
percentage?
me.
That's the one that walked closest to you.
That's 95. I'm absolutely, after I've looked at it, that was definitely the guy.
Okay. Now we have then been able to look at flights and look at who could have been at that meeting. We were able to confirm based on a call sign that there was.
I've wondered that too. Tony. And I don't know if it's just me just being hopeful. I'm really hopeful, I'm hoping.
Somebody heavy duty that was at Fort Huachuca pardon, on that morning who made sure to turn off their transponder. So the clues, the picture is coming together that you saw what you saw. Then that call sign did change at a certain time, which lets us know that then it could have been moved to a congressman. There could be a chance that that person they were blocking you from seeing when they all lined up might have been someone that is, it could be Kash Patel. I mean, it could be Kash Patel. That's someone who could have a call sign. We've been running ideas. It could also not be him. And I want to be clear. I do think I think that is the reason they surrounded you, was to make sure you couldn't see who was walking out. I think your instincts are right on that. And I don't know what to say other than I know what you are going to go through now. And I want you to know that you have an ally with me. And I know how much you are already going through fighting them. And I intend to help you raise money to go through these lawsuits with the federal government. I know this is not easy. I know what your kid has been through. I know what your wife has been through. And no one should have to go through this because they told the truth and potentially stumbled upon something corrupt, did definitively stumble upon something corrupt. And I think the public will be with you because they see what I'm going through right now, being sued by a transatlantic president overseas for just trying to tell the truth. And I just want you to know that, I know that this is hard for you and given everything you've been through, but I am here with you. I'm going to fundraise money for you, and I'm here for you and your family through whatever comes next.
Oh boy, that's really wonderful. And I've told you, thank you. I'd like to see justice. I'd like to.
Yeah, we would like to see justice too. Because there's still no real justice. We keep seeing these patsies, these young kids taking the blame for things that I just don't. I mean, we've got a huge cartel and they wear suits. They're from all over the country. They're in other countries and they're all just one big old cartel. Families, descendants that are just just wanting to maintain power at all cost. At all cost. They don't care about life. They don't care about advancement. They want to keep us dumbed down, confused, distracted, and completely oblivious to the actual truth. I mean, we see this. We've got leaders in this country, in the United States, and none of them are honest people. They lie, they cover up. And we know this. We literally know this. And there's no true justice with that. It's just not. And so again, the map, oh shoot. The map is showing where he was. That's where he was. So if I look at the Candlewood let's look at that. Candlewood. Shit. Candlewood Inn and Suites. Oh. In Arizona. We got Lake Powell. We've got Phoenix. We got Scottsdale. And we've got Flagstaff. So I wonder, where's the closest one? Is our vet guy still in here? Which one is it? Let's see. Per the map, fucking tell. There's Lake Powell right there. Which one is it that this guy said that he stayed at? The Sierra Vista? Okay. Okay. I couldn't remember where he said. Mhm. I'm not seeing it. Candlewood Suites. There it is. Okay, so it's right there. It's just right there. It's right there on the base. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay. Okay, I was just making sure. All right, so that is a faded. That's the fate. That's where they've been before. And so that would make sense that they've been there before and then they come up here. That's where it's going, is right there at that bullseye. And that's where Charlie was. Exactly where Charlie was. Let's look at that. This. Oh. So it's going to be on this line. It's going straight down. It's going straight down. So it'd be right here. So here's Charlie. Here's the fate. The fate is going this way. It's the north lunar node of fate there. We're going this way with the Virgo energy. All that health factor. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying that their narrative. No way. No way. There's the Dairy Queen, the transformation with the courts, with the religion, the Dairy Queen, the Navajo Nation in New Mexico. That's where that is going. It's going from that Dairy Queen and it's going to this Navajo Nation. And then we've got the reservation in New Mexico. And this is where there is a lot of attention with the vehicle, with the vehicle and with the government and how they bring in money is going here. into that reservation. And then we've got Tyler. This is where Tyler lives. And look at that. There is so this is Venus is sextiling Mars. So this is but all the attention is over here. It's not really over here. But that's where they get him. Okay, so that's where he lives. Here's the White House. And you can see that there's a square. I mean, I can't even make it up, dude. That square right there is a major challenge with the government and the health. And, the day before, I saw Trump, Elon, and it was Elon's company, right? Doge is Elon's company. And he was definitely aware that there was an audit. No doubt about it. So we have Elon, we got Trump, we've got Israel, we got Mexico, Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein, all in the same chart with Charlie when that took place. Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So what I'm going to do is in my next live, which I'm going to do one back to back, I'm going to come back at 4 and I'm going to show the astrology. It's going to be all astrological charts, numbers, connections, degrees. That's the way that I investigate with astrology. We can use astrology. We can use that tool, the ancient tool, for so many things, including mapping, looking for fugitives, looking for the missing. And we can use it to investigate by matching the degrees and connections. And let me tell you something. I got Obama. I got Spain. I got Colombia. The whole clan. I've already looked at it all. I've made those connections. And this is a complete cover up. And I am going to show the day before, the night before, all this went down with Charlie. I may not have birth times, but I don't need it. I don't need it. The NSA's Utah data center called Bumble Hive is located in Bluffdale, Utah, about 20 miles south of Salt Lake City, roughly a 30-minute drive from the university. Wow. No way. The Utah data center. Bluffdale, Utah. Let me look at that. Your data center. See what that is. 321. So that's a 21 Aquarius. It's a 21 Aquarius. I'll check that out and see. 21 Aquarius. Let me look at that chart. Well, there's a 22. Oh, no. That's a 22 Libra. Interesting. A 21 Aquarius. Interesting. So I'm going to have to pull up the NSA then. I'll have to look at the NSA with all of this as well. But yeah, I'm going to come back on at 4 and I'm going to do all the astrology. I'm going to show you guys the connections that I found. And they're, they give me the heebie-jeebies, but at the same time, it's like, I want the truth and I want nothing but the truth. This is going up into, okay, so let me show you guys this square because this is where Saturn was going. Straight up. Here is all the problems. All the problems. Hospital. See, I was searching for something on this line, and then I just can't really find anything. There's Linden. We're going into the mountains. Lookout Peak. This is where all the problems. Oh, hold on. What do I got here? Jeannie? Why do I got Jeannie there and a hotspot there? Oh, I guess just to say that, shit. That's it. I'm going to have to pull her chart up too. So Jeannie. Yeah, girl, I remember now. That's it. That's the Saturn. That's the one slowing things down that has a relationship with the White House. Miss Jeannie. Y'all remember who that is, right? Yes or no? Just say yes or no in the chat if you remember who Jeannie is. Jeannie. Well. Jeannie, Utah. Here she is, Jeannie Johnson. Jeannie Johnson right here. There she is, Dr. Jeannie Johnson, director at the Utah State University Center for Anticipatory Intelligence. This is the intelligence that has come to the university. As an associate professor in the political science department, her primary research interest, strategic culture, examines the impact of national and organizational cultures on the formation of security policy. Yeah, it's all about the intelligence and the expertise in national security and geopolitics with cutting-edge instruction in cyber threats, data analytics, and emergent technology. And it's too bad that she couldn't prevent this threat to her own university. It's too bad, huh? It's too bad. Because this girl, I did find her birthday. So I'm gonna have to pull her too. And when I'm looking at this, I want to tell you, read that. Dr. Johnson has conducted in-depth research on U.S. national and military services, cultures, including critical blind spots in our foreign and security policy, like the blind spot that you had, or did you have it, Jeannie? Did you have a blind spot? Or did you just turn the other way? Oh, she's got a book. 2018 book, The Marines, Counterinsurgency and Strategic Culture. Lessons learned and lost in America's wars include a forward from a former Secretary of Defense, Jim Mattis, explores the collective impact of 3 layers of culture: the internal culture of the U.S. Marine Corps, the culture of the U.S. military, American national culture across 100 years, counterinsurgency operations. Dr. Johnson is also focused on the application of strategic culture analysis to the nuclear weapons issue, co-edited 2 books on that topic. Dr. Johnson received her doctorate in strategic studies from the University of Reading in 2013 in California. Nuclear weapons. Girl. I mean, the plot just continues to thicken in a progressive manner. These people don't seek to protect us at all. They seek to keep us dumbed down, confused while they get more powerful. And it's really disheartening. I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate that that's where we've come to in all of this. So, anywho, guys, anywho, this is only the plot is really going to thicken when I show the astrology in about 30 minutes. So, you guys come back and join me, and if you can't keep up with the analytics of numbers, because basically what I'm doing is playing the numbers game. It's like elementary. The things that you don't understand with the astrology, just let it fly. Take in what you understand, leave what you don't, but just know that this is another way that we can investigate the hidden, the esoteric side of humanity and what's really going on. Because your connections, the connections that you make in life, it's not random. It's not just by chance. It's by design. And I firmly believe that if you just stick with me, you're going to learn a lot. And you've never seen anything like this in the world. Ain't nobody else in the world doing it like I am doing it. 100. Yeah, CIA analyst turned professor. Interesting. So you guys come back and see me. I hope you do. And if you don't, I totally understand. This type of investigation astrology just isn't for everybody. And I get it. I get it. But if you do come back, you better have your pencil and paper. Exactly. Who is really the superpower? We are. We are. We're the superpower. And we are the superpower, especially in numbers. And that's why they have to keep us dumbed down, sick, confused, because we, the people, are the power. We, the people, carry the power. It's just that we haven't claimed that power just yet. But that great awakening, I think is coming. And again, I'm going to show tomorrow. I'm going to start with the transits of today. When I come back, I'm going to start with the transits of today. And I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. And why tomorrow is looking really intense, looking really shady with the United States and the law. Could be with the Epstein stuff. I don't know. Could be whose name today. I don't know. But we're going to talk it out. And I'm going to show you guys everything that I have found thus far. So peace out, guys. See you in a few if you come back. See ya. The puppet masters, and who are they? Oh, I'm going to show you.